Hello and welcome. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this is Dwarf Fortress. So this is a game I used to play. I haven't played for well over a year. Um, I really do enjoy this game, but this game is like a bad habit for me. It will take hours of my time away from me. But we're gonna try and run it again. I'm just gonna let myself go, see what happens. Um, I've got a few locations already picked out. I already generated the world. I used the basic generator. I do not remember enough about the world cookbook generating to facilitate making a well-designed world. Maybe in the future I'll work back on that, but this is a whole new version to me. I've been out of this cycle for a long time. I'm kind of just now looking through, trying to find a good starting area. Something that's going to be exciting, meet some of my criteria. I don't want to be too close to civilization, but being too close to like an evil area doesn't seem that great. I've already set in some generation. Let's see. Looking for shallow and deep metals, um, some soil, just because it's necessary to actually grow things. I'm sure you could probably do a run without it, but I would like to have soil. I'm also trying to avoid too warm of areas. Oh, lost my cursor. Ah, there we are. Um, and I would like, if at all possible, sand. So this is pretty good, except for there are no trees here. Um, let's see. Well, this is, let's see. Sand, some soil, deep metals and shallow metals, and a flux stone layer. It is heavily forested. It is warm, but it is not hot. Thick vegetation, and the surroundings are wilderness. We are kind of near some civilization. Let's see. But we do have the dwarves, which obviously, elves, humans, and then goblins. So we have pretty standard fare, nothing too outrageous there. That'll be great for trade and other benefits. I think this might be good. Let's look at the elevation. So the area we've selected is kind of hilly, so there'll be something to dig into. Um, yeah, let's do this. Let's see. It has been a little while. I'm hoping I'll remember the keys. Let's prepare carefully. If you're familiar with my past playthroughs, I don't like to give skills to peasants. I prefer to go into Dwarf Therapist after everything's done and assign them skills based on what they're proficient or will get good at. I don't want to take any, let's see, specifically splints and crutches. Hoping that I won't need those at the beginning. I like to carry a lot of dwarven alcohol. Usually all four types that are available. Usually there's four. Um, so we got the ale. And we're going to go ahead and get about 40 of these. And then we're going to get the beer and get 40 of that. So I usually spend all my points on things to start with rather than spending points on getting bonus skills or whatever. We will get 2 female dogs, 1 dog, 1 cat, male and female, and then I would like to get a sow and a boar. How many points do I have left? 88. Since we're near some nastier things, it might not be a bad idea. Let's see. Is this all we have access to? copper crossbow might not be so bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a copper crossbow and get some... We will get some basic copper bolts. Just a few of those. So it might be important to get a military setup pretty quickly. 20 points I have, 28. Not enough to get a war dog, but maybe another dog. Actually, let's go ahead and just get some more plants to put out. Actually, since these are not food, we'll go with just straight up plump helmets and then throw in a few more seeds. And I think that's what we'll go with. For the group name, now I've thought about this, and again, if you are familiar with my old playthroughs, let's see. We want first compound. My first playthrough, or my main playthrough that I had on this channel, we randomized the name and we wound up with the name BasmentBorn. And I'm not going to go just for BasmentBorn. I want to see BasmentBorn of... Ooh, actually, I wonder. Oopie. There we go. BasmentBorn of tubes. So this is going to be like an offshoot of them. But it's just kind of a nod to the old series. I did enjoy it. I kind of lost a lot of that stuff when I moved around. So I don't have those saves available to me anymore, so hopefully this will be as enjoyable, if not more. And this is not the newest version of Dwarf Fortress, but this is a newer version than what I'm used to playing. And apparently a lot of things have changed. Sword vines. I'm just trying to... I don't know what kind of name I'm looking for, but... Pickbeards. There we go. We'll go with that. And I think we are ready to embark. Select the element to begin. Wait. Oh, I picked a symbol, I believe. Embark. There we go. I don't know what symbols are about. Maybe at some point in the future I will mess with that. But yeah, while I'm letting this load, I just decided I'd get back into it. Uh-oh. Oh, it is loaded. And you can hear the sound sense in the background. But yeah, I decided to get back into it and sit down and play it. I've just been worried that I'm going to get the Dwarf Fortress bug again and lose all my time. Let's see, you have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the foreboding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek is finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Labram Idath? Rusty Dorvish. I haven't been practicing. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes subsistence, whether by bolt, plow, or hook. Provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you. But it's spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the leopards get hungry. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here at this place. Tekerud, Pickbeards, strike the earth. So let's go ahead and just jump in, see what it looks like, see what we've got here. Maybe there's some things I could possibly do to improve the performance. Hopefully this will just be like that first load and it'll just take a little bit. I don't know how long these episodes are going to be. This isn't so bad for uploading to YouTube because I guess it's not that graphically intense. So I don't mind these episodes going a little longer. I might still keep it around 30, or I might just try to play until season change, just whichever is more convenient. And here we are. So, let's see, we are there. There's some sand. Let's actually take a look. Loamy sand wall. I think that's actually not sand, but this is yellow sand. So we should be able to make glass with that, which is why I wanted it. I don't know if glass is still as valuable as it was in previous versions, but... Ooh. Chalk and lemonite. So we have we have the stuff to make steel. That's actually a really good start. We're not going to be doing that to the beginning, but... Rough-hewn native platinum. Ooh. This is actually going to make my fortress very valuable very quickly, and that's going to be dangerous. There are spider... Wait. Wait. Brown recluse Spider-Man silk web. Oh, no. Yeah, that would be a whole lot of nope. So now is time to think about how I want to build my fortress. Let's take a look above. So some trees going on. Do I want to start here? Do I want to create something? Do I just want to start digging down? This looks like a nice flat piece of wall. I could probably dig a 3 wide into here. And then build like a little trade depot. And then make a 90 and then go deeper into the fortress. Well, let's first go ahead and look at our new dwarves. So this is, Dwarf Therapist. Very handy tool if you're not familiar with the game. It makes managing things a lot easier. Though some of the in-game stuff has gone for the better. So we want a miner. I'm kind of just seeing if any of them just leap out as mining being one of their top matches. These are not what they're good at. This is what they are potentially good at least as far as I understand it. Alright, let's just look at the actual, so 60, 49, 44, 31. I think 60 and 59 might be my best. Well, miners get first picks on Craftsdorf. He'd be a really good wood crafter, and bone crafter, and stone crafter. So when you're not mining, you are going to be my crafter. Let's see, I'm probably walking right past it. Let's see, bone carving, and then you also wouldn't be a bad clothier. Maybe something to worry about later. I think that's enough for you. My miners I don't like to give too many main jobs to. What are you good at? Weapon and armor smith? Not a bad idea. And woodcutter you would be pretty good at, but I'm not going to make you into a woodcutter. Let's make you an animal trainer. And if we ever get to it, maybe an armorer and a weaponsmither. Actually, are you? Yes, you'd be a good metal crafter, so let that be. And then maybe throw something else that's... be okay at butchery. Yeah, let's give that one to you. Now, the next person we need is a good woodcutter. So this is part of the beginning setup. If you're not familiar with Dwarf Fortress, it just always takes a little bit to do that initial setup. So woodcutter, are you a good carpenter? Is anyone a better carpenter? I think you're going to also be the carpenter. I tend to like those jobs being together because that way he supplies his own wood, at least in the beginning. Are you alright at bowyer? Yep. You're just going to get that block of skills right there. Oh, and everyone is going to be an architect. Maybe this has changed since I last played, but from what I remember, it's architecture doesn't really have a good use. It just kind of, you need them. They don't. They're having a higher skill in architecture. I don't think helps any. All right. So we need farmers, masonry people. 48. Ooh. I hate to give the miner another job, but maybe it wouldn't be something. Or no, you're the woodcutter. Yeah, actually, that'd be fine. Those 4 jobs for you. Now let's look at farming. Well, you're probably our most competent farmer. Cooking and brewing. How are you at those? Cooking, you're alright. You are not good at any of these, though. Ooh, you are a good butcher. Let's see. Maybe you will also be... It's not bad to have multiple farmers. So I'm trying to only use the ones who we don't really have a whole lot of jobs already on them. You'd be a pretty good bone carver, so maybe you in addition to... Let's see. Probably won't use this skill soon, but I just want to go ahead and set it up and not have to be changing in the middle of play. Cook. And then I think you're going to have to be a brewer. And who's not got jobs? You have no jobs, and you only really have one that's not going to be used anytime soon. So you with no jobs. Might have you just pick up one of the jobs that's already covered. Actually, how are you at fishing? Since you're probably... I kind of like the dwarves who fish to also be the one who cleans and dissects it. Kind of how the you catch it, you cook it. You would not be bad at weaponsmithing, but again, that's not going to be really something I need at the beginning. Maybe give you the hunter. Yeah, let you be a hunter. Keep some of those nastier things away. Hopefully we'll stay on top of bolt making. We've got you 1 crossbow already. And I'll leave the rest to keep those jobs that they have already. Just because we're probably going to be moving a lot of stuff. Now, let us go ahead and we're going to dig. We want a 5x5 room that we will probably expand later to add solid walls to. And then we want a stockpile. This is going to be kind of a multi-use stockpile room. Once I move the stockpile somewhere else, this will probably just be a defense room. And then off of this, let's add a... So there's a good chance we're going to be digging into stone, and I like to be in stone. This will be a little barracks room. Let me think about how I want to set this up. Doesn't need to be fancy, but I have that habit of wanting it to look a little nicer. Now, since I'm pretty sure this is sand, once we get to where this is all dug out, I'm going to start putting farms and pens and everything here. So let's let our dwarves actually kick into action and see what they do. So our miners are already starting to mine in, cutting through some tree roots. Speaking of that, we should go ahead and chop down some trees. Let's do it near our fortress. A little wide there, but that should work. And ideally, I'd actually like these trees directly above our fortress to go. And let them go again. Alright, let's take a look around the map a little more. So underneath, you have some pretty quick moving currents. Should probably build a bridge across that, since that's actually a deep river. Now we've already struck a little bit of copper. Cassiterite. I think cassiterite is an ore of copper. Actually, there's a way to check. Ore of tin. Oh. You learned something new. Someone has become my expedition leader. He is Saxzul. You know, I'm not even going to try that one. But, let's see what our expedition leader is thinking. Who he is. He finished up some work. That was very satisfying. Feels satisfied at work. He is. He's one of our miners. He is 88 years old. Seems like a pretty standard dwarf. He is incredibly quick to heal and slow to tire. Wow, he is actually a really good miner. He likes graphite, bismuth, black, zircon, amber, and the color beige. Battle axes, low boots, toy boats, cavies for their adorable call, giant black bears for their strength, and the words of the flowery berry. Cannot talk today. When possible, he prefers to consume seahorse, pond turtle, and dwarven wine. Well, he'll be alright on the wine. He absolutely detests snails. Nothing too outstanding, but he is quick to heal, which I find is probably pretty good for a miner. There are a lot of injuries that they can acquire. And we have struck gold. So I did turn up the the ore generation just a little bit, but maybe I should have left it where it was. Then again, I did look for a site that had multiple metals. Oh, and we're going to go ahead and expand that trade depot just a little bit because I kind of want that cassiterite out of there. Hopefully there's not more buried in. If there is, I'm just going to lose my mind. It's Dwarf Fortress. You can't have everything nice, neat, and organized, but am I going to try? So, unfortunately, because this is stone, it's actually going to take us a lot longer to crack through. I was hoping it was going to be sand, then our dwarves would cut through it pretty quickly. Let's take a look at some of the higher levels, see if there's anything interesting. It'd be nice if there's a volcano, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe there'll be a magma tube underground. There's more webs, and that is very worrying. In fact, what's these others? Great horned owls. I don't think those are going to bother us. Anything else peeking its head out as far as minerals go? So yeah, I already did this kind of once. And, ooh, what is that? Tehedrite. So this isn't my first attempt to record this video. I actually recorded episodes 1 and 2 yesterday. And I recorded episode 1, got some new software from a Humble Bundle. You'll probably know which one I'm talking about. For editing videos, it's like, I can go ahead and try and make some simple edits to this video. One, I wanted to cut out like a small section of waiting for the map to load. Kind of like in this video, but I don't think I'm going to try and cut that out after the experience yesterday. So that first video turned out alright, but I think I was trying to render it in a higher setting, so it was more graphically intense, so it took it a couple hours. And then I started recording the second video while it was rendering, thinking, it looks like everything's running just fine. No, it was not running just fine. I went back and reviewed the video after it stopped rendering, and the second video was at like 3 frames a second. So I'd be talking, you could hear my audio just fine, but it'd be like you'd see every 3rd or 4th frame, and I'd say, oh, I'm clicking this, doing that, and just suddenly the screen would change and shift. And I'm not saying Dwarf Fortress needs the most visual acuity, but maybe not quite that bad. So I decided I'd scrap them. I'm not saying like I'm a high quality person. Ooh, what's going on? Elephant is fighting. Wow. Then I should probably build a butcher shop so they'll actually butcher. And a tanner shop. I didn't think he would go after it quite that quick, but alright. Hope he's safe wherever he is. He seems to be hitting it fairly hard. Anyways, but so I decided I would scrap those videos and record a whole new set. It wasn't too much effort to do it, so I was just like, And I can see what I learned in that little bit of time and make things go a little smoother. But I have determined I am going to avoid doing as many cuts as I did in my previous series. So if you are familiar with it and you're thinking it's going to be like that, where I would tell you what I was going to do, show you a little bit of what was going on and what I'd accomplished, and then in the video, and then the next video you'd see what more I'd accomplished. I'm just gonna play it through. I'm gonna try and do a relaxed playthrough. I may make a cup of coffee or tea in future ones and just sip it as we go through. So if that's not your style, maybe watch this on times 2 play or um, skip it altogether. But I am probably going to lose myself in this game. Oh, and hopefully I don't lose my mind. But I know you can't help it in Dwarf Fortress. Things are not going to match unless you just take out an entire Z level and then replace it. But oh, seeing that limonite cut straight through the chalk walls, oh, it's gonna drive me up the walls. But at least I could actually try and make some beginner steel items. Not really much of a reason to make steel bolts, but I wonder if I do have copper. Did I see sapphirite earlier? What was that I saw while I was going over some of the other things? Dihedrite. So this is an ore of copper and silver. I believe it's 3 copper to 1 silver is usually produced out of that, which is useful. The silver can be nice, decorative, made into furniture and things like that. And the copper will make for good bolts. Pretty much, at least, unless that's changed, copper bolts were about as good as you got. There wasn't really much reason to make steel bolts. Other than, I think, they're a higher grade weapon material, so they'll technically beat better armor, but it's... There's some things I probably don't understand as much as I should about weapon, what trumps what, but I seem to remember something about copper being a good enough bolt. There not really being much reason to go for better than copper. Though I will say this all being out of stone makes me feel a lot better about it. I know technically, at least the last I played, there's no difference between dirt and stone for the ability to stop enemies. But maybe it's the inner dwarf in me, but I like being surrounded by stone in my fortresses. I really hate embarks where the dirt is very deep. I actually usually wind up building a fortress above ground because of that. So the dwarves are nearly done. I actually want to build a... We're going to build a Carpenter's Workshop in this little area. Sure, make it out of chalk. We've had enough of it. Like, even barring the fact that some of it's going to be used for other things. I don't want to build a... let's actually build a Bower's Workshop. I can't remember if wood bolts will work for... And add new task. I think you're already butchering your things, but I'm not 100%. Though the fact I see that we have 10 meat makes me think maybe the elephant did get butchered. Let's see, can I spot a blood trail? Actually, now I'm thinking about it, elephants, the great enemy of all dwarves everywhere since Broat murdered. And if you have not read that story and have any interest in Dwarf Fortress, what are you doing? And go read that. I'm going to have these trees cut down. Mostly because I want that little dirt patch that has roots growing through it gone. I know technically not a structural weakness, but it just makes me feel like it's one. So our carpenter is building. Let's get some beds going. Bone and wooden crossbows can be made there. I don't really need to make that this time. And let's see. How do I want to set up? So to the south, I want to dig in and see if I can't set up some farming area surrounded by, well, having radiating out from it the pens and the butcher shops and the stills and stuff like that, and a stockpile specifically for food. Oh, there's sand there. So that means there's probably more sand cuts in. If I go back this way... I was going to make that into a bedroom, but maybe... I really do need to get my dwarves in shelter quicker, but maybe I should just do this. Make that into a little barracks area. Yeah, it's giving my dwarves more to dig through, but they're almost done with what they're working on at this point in time. Alright. Maybe I should get a loom up and running just so they'll collect all the spider webs and I can start making bags to collect the sand. But glass making isn't going to happen for a good while. Alright, so now they're going over to that. So now, T for custom stockpile. Enable, enable, enable. Enable, finished goods. No, not wood. Disable. You do not want to enable the wood there. Alright, and so we have that. We're gonna let the stockpile have a little room around it. And let everyone start bringing stuff in. So they're going to start taking things out of the wagon and putting it in there. Now I'm thinking, do I want to dig south to set up the farms, or do I want to kind of go to the east? I think south is going to be just a better setup. Alright, bed. Oh, beds haven't started to be made yet. But we are going to dig. I just want to make sure that's lined up. Yeah. Do that. Big place. I could probably set up 6 small fields there. Maybe put some stuff in the center. Food stockpile. Is going to be there. Yeah. Alright, I did manage to nail that. And then we'll do the little animal pen here, which this will not become viable just yet. And then off the animal pen, we will set up a butcher and tannery. And I like to give them a little more room to move about because there's going to be certain dead spots on those. And set up little still alcoves on either side. And kitchen. Kitchen and farmers' workshops, respectively. Maybe a fishery somewhere. Oop. Alright, so there wasn't any more cassiterite there. That is good. So at least 2 of the beds have been made. What is our lumberjack doing? He is now. Oh, he's dragging the wood in. At some point, I do want to set up a wood stockpile. Why is it... Oh, I'm hitting W, not Q. Fingers on the home keys, even though that's not home key. Add D, 2 doors there. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. In fact, opposite of the dormitory, I might set up the accounting room. I like to get a manager dwarf / bookkeeper set up as soon as possible. I'll probably look through the dwarves between episodes to see which one is the most qualified for that. Letting our dwarves dig it out a little bit. Sometimes I kind of wonder what their selection priority is for digging. They tend to dig in a certain direction, but it almost seems like they pick a tile to step towards without... I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how they decide that. Alright. I think... Now, another thing when looking at your fortress and thinking about how you're going to set it up and everything is to just look at the surrounding area and think how much of it you're going to terraform. There have been maps where I like shave off a lot of the ugly out parts and just try to make it all uniform and neat. And then there are maps I've tried to just kind of make my footprint as minimal as possible on the outside, make a road, but other than that, don't really do anything to let my presence be known. I do want to pull some of those ramps away from the doorway and maybe create some sort of overhang. Maybe I'll set up a gatehouse right there at the beginning. DH. Now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to shave that side off, and I'm thinking I might build a gatehouse there. Something that could stand over it, goes up a few Z levels and caps it off. Maybe a double airlock there. Something. Let's go ahead and place some more of our beds. And let those get placed. In fact, we can go ahead and set this up to be a bedroom, and it is a dormitory. I believe our minor doors are probably getting something to eat, taking a little break. What is that? Oops, summer has arrived. So I think I'm going to stop here for now. It usually takes a few moments to do it save. I'm going to stop here. Maybe waiting till seasons come and go is the best practice. I don't know. But thank you for joining me. I'm Inverted Umber, and this has been Dwarf Fortress. Have a good one.